Hello everyone, this is part 2 of What If Naruto Came Back with a Kid, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Earlier that day, Naruto rolled his back to the window as sunlight started to shine through. He heard some footsteps coming down the hall. He then heard his door open. Oi brother, get your butt out of bed. You can't be late like you usually are. Naruto groaned, go away. Sakura smirked as she put her hand on her hip. This was the way it always was. She would always be the one up first, and Naruto was always the one that woke up the last second and as a result was sometimes late. She gave out a fake sigh. Well, I guess you will miss out final exam then. And you'll have to repeat your last year at the academy all over again. Naruto jumped out of bed and looked around with a smile. It's graduation day. Sakura chuckled as she stepped out the door and closed it so to not get any unwanted looks at her little brother changing. She then walked downstairs picking up her lunch bag. She kissed her mom on the cheek and started out the door. See you later mom, wish us luck. Mrs. Haruno looked up and smiled at her daughter. Aren't you going to wait for your brother? Sakura chuckled. 3.2.1. Naruto ran down the stairs and grabbed his lunch and kissed his mom's cheek before running out the door Sakura was holding open. Bye mom. I'm coming back a ninja. Mrs. Haruno smiled at her daughter. Good luck. Make me proud. Sakura nodded and started down the street after Naruto. They weren't that far before they saw a blonde-haired girl waiting on the corner. Naruto smiled and waved. Ino-chan. Ino smiled as she saw her two friends coming. She quickly regained her straight face to prepare for her and Sakura's morning ritual. Sakura sneered as they finally caught up to Ino. Hey Ino pig, I see you forgot to wear makeup today. Have you finally decided to give up on Sasuke-kun? Ino scoffed. I just didn't want to blow you out of the water forehead. I have to play down my natural beauty so that you have a chance. Naruto smirked at the two. Why can't you two just say good morning like normal people? Why do you two like that stupid Uchiha anyways? He quickly received a fist said onto the top of his head for that. He fell to the ground and rubbed his head. What was that for? Sakura looked down at him with a scowl. Don't call Sasuke-kun stupid. Ino nodded her agreeance. Yeah, and stop adding the chan to the end of my name. Sasuke-kun might hear you and think I'm not available. The two girls then huffed and left the male to jump off and run to catch up. At the school, Naruto looked around the park next to the academy. All the other kids' parents were there cheering him on. Naruto and Sakura had insisted that their mom enjoy her one day off and relax instead of come to school. Naruto also promised to give her the play-by-play of his great victory over the evil final exam. He looked up and saw one of the teachers walk to up him. He bowed. Good morning Mizuki-sensei. Thank you for your help. Mizuki smiled down at Naruto. No problem Naruto. Good luck in the test today. I will be cheering for you. Naruto nodded and started off towards class. During the test, Iruka looked ahead as Naruto stood before him and a few other teachers. Relax Naruto. We're just going to get you to perform a jutsu to show us how scared you are. And I don't want any of your little jokes either. Naruto nodded. Yes Iruka-sensei. He seemed to be extremely serious for once. I will become a great ninja just like Kakashi and Old Man Hokage. Okay then good. Why don't you go ahead and perform a Bushin jutsu for us? Naruto nodded as he concentrated and summoned the required chakra before 5 more Narutos appeared in front of the teachers. Iruka smiled slightly and nodded. Very good Naruto. You pass. Naruto jumped into the air with a shout. What do you mean he passes? Yelled one of the other teachers. Do you know what he is? Iruka stood from his seat. That information is forbidden and you know it. The teacher was irate now. I don't care. He pointed a finger at Naruto who was now watching the adult. That thing is the Kyuubi that attacked our village. Just as the words were spilt out of the teacher's lips Anbu appeared in the room. They quickly escorted the rabid teacher out of the room. Iruka sighed in relief. That was until her turned and looked at Naruto. Naruto stood there completely still as his forehead protector fell loosely out of his hand. He was in complete shock. The Kyuubi. I'm the Kyuubi. I'm the one that killed Sakura's dad. Iruka took a deep breath. This is not good. He took a step towards Naruto. Naruto. Naruto took off out of the room, then out of the school. Iruka started to go after him, but Mizuki stopped him. I'll go talk to him. You continue the exam. Iruka nodded. It didn't take long for Mizuki to catch up to Naruto. He was huddled up in the corner of the academy ground. Mizuki bent down to Naruto's level. Pretty big secret, huh? Naruto nodded as he sniffed, revealing that he was also crying. Mizuki showed a small smirk that Naruto missed. I know a way to get rid of it. Naruto's head snapped up, looking at Mizuki. You do? Mizuki nodded. All I need is one little scroll. Back to the present. Where is he? Asked Mrs. Haruno through her tears. Iruka sighed. We don't know. No one has been able to find him since he took the forbidden scroll. Kakashi puffed into the room with Sakura and Ino next to him. We're going to go look for Naruto. If we find him before the others, he may get out of this in one piece. I don't get it. Why would the Baka do something like this? Asked Sakura near tears herself. Kakashi looked down at her. You stay here with your mom and Iruka just in case he comes back. What about finding Naruto? Asked Sakura. Kakashi smiled and he slammed his hand to the ground and a small pug in a shinobi outfit appeared. Pakken. Naruto has ran away. Help us find him. I told you that brat would be trouble, stated Pakken. He walked outside and sniffed the air. He looked back at Kakashi. He's not too far, but there is someone else there watching him. Kakashi nodded. Lead the way. He then looked back at Ino. Come on. The two ran off after the pug. With Naruto. Naruto looked at the first jutsu in the scroll. I might as well try this while I wait for Mizuki-sensei to show up. He tried the technique several times before he got it right. He was almost exhausted when Mizuki dropped from his hiding spot. Good job, Naruto, you got the scroll. Now hand it here. Naruto nodded and pushed the scroll towards Mizuki. Are you going to get rid of it now? Mizuki looked over his scroll and smirked. Oh, the young are so foolish and quick to trust. He rolled up the scroll. There is no way to get rid of the Kyuubi. You're stuck with being a monster for the rest of your life. Naruto stuttered. BB, but you said. Mizuki smiled sickly as he pulled out a kunai. Oh, I'm going to get rid of the Kyuubi. I'll just have to kill you to do it. He charged Naruto and drove him into the wall, holding his forearm against Naruto's T. Naruto struggled to get free as he gasped for air. He managed to push Mizuki off with his feet, only to have Mizuki do a flip and hit Naruto's chin with his foot. As Naruto fell to the ground, he hit Naruto with an elbow to the gut and the drive Naruto into his waiting knee. He was about to charge Naruto for the final blow when Kakashi appeared between the two of them. Ino saw the injured Naruto and ran to help him. Kakashi growled as he stared at Mizuki, who was holding the scroll. So you got Naruto to steal that for you? Mizuki smirked. What can I say? This village hates him anyway and would just love a reason to justify that hatred. Why are you doing this now? Asked Kakashi. Let's just say I know someone that would pay pretty well to get his pale hands on this. Mizuki then ready to fight. So, you going to try and kill me, Kakashi? Kakashi chuckled. No, I sent Pakken to go get Anbu. They should be here any moment. As if on Q2, Anbu guards showed up. Kakashi quickly explained the situation and they showed Mizuki off. Kakashi then turned to Naruto and Ino. He bent down to Naruto's level. You okay, kiddo? Naruto refused to make eye contact. I killed them all. Kakashi sighed and picked up the boy and looked down at Ino. Let's go. X. The two shinobi watched as Naruto sat on his bed while his mom looked after him. Mrs. Haruno silently continued to check her son over for injuries. He had been silent since Kakashi brought him home an hour ago. However, the silence was about to end. How can you not hate me? Mrs. Haruno's head snapped up to meet Naruto's gaze. How can you not hate the thing that killed your husband? Mrs. Haruno smiled gently, trying to calm him. Because, you're Naruto, not the Kyuubi. Naruto's gaze fell to his lap. That's not what the villagers think. They call me a freak and a demon and a monster. He closed his eyes as he leaned back, resting his head against the wall. They're right, you know. I'm nothing but a monster. Mrs. Haruno sighed as she closed her eyes. You remember when you were little and you would have nightmares. Naruto nodded. And you would wake up screaming for me and I would come running in. Naruto nodded again. You were not a monster then. You were just a scared little boy that had a bad dream. Mrs. Haruno rubbed her son's cheek with the back of her hand. And that one time that bully tried to beat up on Sakura and Ino. And you got a black eye protecting them. You weren't a monster then. You were a brave young man protecting his friends. But, no buts, you are not the Kyuubi. You are Naruto Uzumaki and, more importantly, you are my son. And that means that I will always love you. What if I lose control one day and the Kyuubi gets out? Mrs. Haruno reached forward and embraced her son, then we'll cross that bridge just like we have the others. Kakashi smiled as Naruto seemed to relax a little. He glanced at Iruka at his side. The other two heard a lot today. Sakura is pretty smart. She'll figure it out. Iruka nodded. We'll have to explain how important it is that this secret is kept between the people in this house and a few others. Kakashi sighed. I'll go talk to them I guess. You just make sure Naruto doesn't make a run for it. Iruka nodded as Kakashi made his way downstairs. Naruto smiled as he sunk into his mom's embrace. Mom. Yes dear. Naruto pulled back and smiled slightly. I passed the exam. Mrs. Haruno nodded and smiled. I know. She then reached to his side table and picked up his forehead protector. You dropped this at the school. Iruka brought it back. He also said when you felt better he would take you to ramen to celebrate. Naruto was immediately overjoyed. Ramen. Iruka patted his wallet. This is going to get expensive. Switch. Kakashi looked at the pair of silent girls in front of him. He scratched the back of his head trying to think of where to start. Well. How is Naruto doing? Asked Sakura. Kakashi smiled behind his mask. He's doing just fine. He has been through a lot today. Yeah, the idiot better be happy that he didn't get in trouble for stealing the scroll, mumbled Ino. He didn't do it on purpose. Mizuki-sensei tricked him, interjected Sakura as she defended her little brother. But still, why would he do that? Asked Ino. Kakashi let out a nervous laugh. Well, that was kind of what I needed to talk to Yuta about. But before I say anything, I must tell you that this is a S-class secret. I shouldn't even be telling you two this, but you deserve to know. Kakashi took a deep breath. How much do you two know about the Kyuubi that attacked 14 years ago? -10 minutes later, Sakura burst into Naruto's room staring at him. Naruto gulped. I guess she knows. And boy is she pissed. Ino walked in after Sakura with the same angry face. Oh, they both know. This may hurt. They both slammed their fist onto Naruto's skull. The next time you do something that's stupid I swear, I'm going to beat you senseless. Yelled Sakura. And you actually believed the crap that teacher said. Yeah, Whiskers, continued Ino, how stupid are you? You're not some stupid demon. I mean other than the whiskers you can't even tell. Naruto blushed slightly as he mumbled, I guess this is not a good time to tell you two that I used to cheat at our hide-and-seek game. Cheated. Naruto nodded, yeah, I just kind of followed your smell. Ino's eye twitched, what are you trying to say Whiskers? That we smell or something? Naruto quickly shook his head, no. I mean I kind of followed your scent. Big sister smells like strawberries and you kind of smell like wildflowers. You both smell good honestly. Both of the girls blushed. So, I would just kind of follow your scents. And when you moved I could hear your movements. Both girls looked at each other, cheeks still slightly pink, and nodded. Naruto's skull was once again introduced to his two friends' fists. Naruto rubbed his head. Ow, geez. I'm sorry, okay. Both girls huffed and walked out the room. Naruto quickly ran after them. Oh come on. It's not like I can turn it off or anything. Ino grabbed her coat and started for the door. I'll forgive you this time Whiskers. I'll see you tomorrow. Mrs. Haruno cleared her tea behind the three teens. Naruto will walk you home. I don't want you getting hurt. Ino scowled. I can take care of myself. I'm a leaf shinobi after all. My dad even taught me a clan jutsu. Mrs. Haruno's glare put an end to the argument. Naruto took his coat from the hook and smiled at his mom. See you when I get home. I won't be long. Take as long as you want with your girlfriend little brother, teased Sakura. Ino scoffed as he lifted her nose into the air, like I would lower myself to date Naruto. Sakura smirked, really? Remind me, who was your first kiss? Ino blushed slightly, Hey, we were kids and that doesn't count. Mrs. Haruno sighed as she pushed Naruto and Ino out the door. You two get going now. She then shut the door to avoid any more argument. Switch. The walk was normal as any. They were silent for the first block before anyone said anything. You wonder when Mom is going to stop making me walk you home. Ino smirked. Remember when she would walk with us? She would hold yours and Sakura's hand and I would hold yours. Well, at least till the whole cuties period. Naruto glanced at her. I was traumatized for weeks. Ino's smirk grew. What can I say? You were gullible. She then shivered slightly. She was surprised when she felt another coat wrap around her. She looked at Naruto as he rubbed his arms. She started to take it off and give it back, but Naruto stopped her. You need it more than me. Ino raised an eyebrow. What if you get a cold? Naruto looked at her and smiled. When was the last time I got sick? Ino decided to let Naruto win this one argument and pulled the coat tighter around her. She couldn't help but breathe in his earth-out Oframen scent. They silently made their way the rest of the way to her house. They stopped outside and said the goodbyes. Ino leaned up and gently hugged him. Don't worry about what those stupid villagers say. Naruto nodded. Thanks. I really appreciate you being here when I need you. Ino blushed. No problem. Then Naruto did the last thing she expected. He kissed her on the cheek. It only lasted a second before he pulled away with a blush. Naruto. Naruto suddenly became interested in his feet. I thought about it. And there's never going to be a girl who likes me. And if there is, they'll find out my secret and not want anything to do with me. But, sir, I just thought that since you were always so nice and looking out for me, you should have my first and only kiss. Ino rubbed her arms as she blushed. She then remembered she was wearing Naruto's coat. She slowly took it off and handed it back. Thanks, for your coat I mean. Naruto took it and nodded sadly. Sorry I did that. We'll just ask like it never happened. Ino nodded slightly. Sure. Naruto smiled brightly. Well, see you in a few days. He then ran off towards home. Ino stood there outside her house holding her cheek in the exact spot Naruto had kissed. His words played through her mind. There's never going to be a girl who likes me. And if there is, they'll find out my secret and not want anything to do with me. She frowned slightly. You'll find someone eventually, whiskers. Ino was surprised on the day they were supposed to split into groups and given a sensei. As she rounded the ever-familiar corner, she was surprised at first that she was not the first one there like usual, and second that only her pink-haired friend was waiting for her. Naruto had not spoken to her ever since he had walked her home that night. Her gaze fell onto the scowling face of Sakura. She raised an eyebrow. What did you do to him? Demanded Sakura. Huh. Sakura crossed her arms. Naruto. He came home after walking you back to your place only to walk up to his room and not come out until this morning. Then he said that was he going to go ahead of me so he could get there early. What does it have to do with me? Maybe he's still upset about what happened the other day. Replied Ino as she tried to avoid eye contact. Sakura's eyes narrowed. What happened? Ino's eyes snapped up. He kissed me, okay. He said that no girl would ever care for him and then the idiot kissed me. Sakura bowed her head. He did. Ino nodded sadly but then had a new look of determination. Look, we can just ignore it and let Naruto keep avoiding me, or we can find him a girlfriend and prove him wrong. Sakura looked at her friend. Who? Ino revealed a smirk. I have a few suspects. She then led her friend off as she explained her plan. At school, Naruto was sitting in his usual spot when the girls arrived. Ino and Sakura scanned the room until they spotted a certain Hyuga sneaking looks at Naruto. Ino smirked. Prime suspect, Hinata Hyuga. Sakura will convince Naruto to join me and her and a group of friends for a celebration of graduating. Then all we have to do is boost Hinata's courage a little bit and get them alone together. Her thought process was interrupted by Iruka walking in. Iruka cleared his tea. Okay, listen up. The students surprisingly quickly obeyed. He smirked. I guess everyone is excited about meeting their team and sensei. He quickly remembered the conversation he had had only moments before. Flashback. Kakashi narrowed his eyes as he looked at the person in front of him. Are you sure you can handle this? Asuma took a drag of his cigarette and let out a puff of smoke. 2 special cases and a female who insists on being in charge. What about you? Kakashi sighed and he rubbed his forehead. I knew I would get stuck with Sasuke. I can work with the other two choices. End flashback. Iruka had called out all of the teams except for two. The last 6 genins were anxious. Sakura, Naruto, and Ino kept sneaking glances at each other. None of them had been picked yet. Could they all be on the same team? Iruka looked at his paper. The next team will be led by Asuma. This group will consist of Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto could not help but feel slightly upset that he had not gotten Kakashi as a sensei. The two had grown close. Kakashi had even shown Naruto a few jutsu that may help him in the future. He was also thankful that Guy already had his team. Even though Guy did live up to his promise and train Naruto several times in taijutsu. He already knew Guy's team and considered Tenten and Lee friends. He was still trying to get used to the enigma that was Neji Hyuga. Ino Yamanaka. Ino couldn't help but be slightly happy that she would be teamed with her longtime friend. Sure, she would love to be on the same team as Sasuke, but what girl didn't? She scanned the last 4 people, Sakura, Chuji, Shikamaru, and Sasuke. Ino smirked. She could still get Sasuke. Naruto was slightly nervous to be on the same team as his crush. There, he admitted it. At first he had ignored it. He knew that Ino would never fall for a guy other than her precious Sasuke. And, Shikamaru Nara. Sakura jumped into the air with a cheer. She was on the same team as her Sasuke. Sakura quickly spun around, stuck out her tongue at Ino. Ino jumped from her seat, practically red in the face. What do you mean I get stuck with that lazy bums? She pointed an angered finger at Shikamaru. Shikamaru just looked at her with a bored gaze. How troublesome. Iruka sighed. Okay, you other 3. Your sensei is Kakashi. Class is dismissed. Be here after lunch to meet your senseis. The entire class is let out slowly but surely. Sasuke stood from his seat with his hands in his pockets as usual. He sighed. What do you want? Naruto was now in front of Sasuke with a menacing glare. I really do hate you, you know. Sasuke looked at him as if waiting for the rest. Sakura Haruno is my big sister. Sasuke smirked. And what does that have to do with me? Naruto growled slightly. If she comes back from a mission with a single scratch or hair out of place, I will kick you ass. Sasuke's smirk grew. You can try. But I would never lose to a dobe like you. He then nudged past Naruto before walking out of the room. Naruto. Naruto paled as her turn to see a seething Sakura and Ino. He paled slightly as he laughed nervously and backed away. What's going on, girls? Sakura clenched her fist as Ino cracked her knuckles. Sakura smiled sweetly at her brother. What have I told you about threatening Sasuke-kun? Naruto took another step backwards. Sakura, I was just trying look out for you. I'm not going to be there to protect you. Sakura sighed. Naruto, I'm a shinobi now. I don't need you to protect me like you did when we were little. Besides, if I get in over my head, Kakashi-sensei is there to help out. Ino nodded her head. Yeah, she'll be just fine. Besides, the Hokage just decided to throw her a bone since he knows that she never stands a chance from getting Sasuke-kun from me. She then grabbed Naruto by the arm, starting to drag him out of the room. Now come on, we need to go find our lazy-ass teammate. Naruto waved goodbye to his sister as he was pulled out of the room. Switch. Ino stood around looking either way. Where is that lazy bum anyway? Ino. Ino spun around to see Naruto looking at the ground. She was about to snap at him when she saw his sad expression. I'm really sorry. Ino raised an eyebrow. What for? Naruto kicked the dirt under his feet. About the other night. I'm sorry that I kissed you and everything. I shouldn't have. Ino hugged Naruto tight, quieting him. She let him go in about a minute. Don't worry about it. Besides, who better to give your first kiss to than the most beautiful girl around? Naruto chuckled and blushed. Ino looked around again. Now where? Ino. Ino looked back at Naruto again. Look, I told you it's okay. Naruto pointed to the right. Ino followed where he pointed to see Shikamaru laying on the ground staring at clouds. Ino marched over to Shikamaru and gave him a swift kick to the side. Shikamaru coughed as the wind was driven out of him. He rubbed his side, sat up, and looked over at the disturbance. Oh, it's you. What do you want? You know we should really spend this time getting to know each other better. Shikamaru narrowed his eyes. Ino, I've known you since before either of us could walk. He then looked over at Naruto. And I've known you ever since we were 6. I think we know all we need to know. Another voice interrupted them. You'll find out quick, there's a lot you don't know. The figures looked at the source of the voice to see a Junin smoking a cigarette. Come on, I'll buy my new team lunch. Asuma then started to walk towards the center of town. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.